Hola, buenos dias, mama, papa, tio, tia, abuelo, abuela. Standard 3 girls, welcome. So, for art, we are going, it's a 3 parts. We are going to make a model of Trinidad and Tobago waterfront. But before we start, let's get going. So get your suitcases. Yeah, we are going to travel. Our national airlines, Caribbean Airlines, we are going to travel the world. All business, all planes, all boats come to this little dot. This little dot known as Trinidad, port of Spain. All right? Many years ago, this is what Port of Spain looked like. Right? We can see the northern range is still there. We can see all the buildings here. Boats are coming here many years ago. Boats filled with goods and services for our people, for trade. Today, this is what Port of Spain, our waterfront, looks like. This is a panoramic shot of Trinidad and Tobago Harbor waterfront done by Hassan Voyo. So when you get time, you can look at Hassan's Voyo and you would see his work. Today, we are focusing on our waterfront. Now before we do that, our waterfront, if you look at the image, it was landscape. Looking at the waterfront now, we're going to look at the background and we're going to look at the foreground. We're not studying this as yet. We are looking at the background. So the background, we are seeing the sky and the mountains. And the foreground, we are seeing El Golfo de Paria. This is the Gulf of Paria. All right? The sky on the Gulf of Paria looks like this. This is called a wash. This technique is called a wash. So remember that. So, our sketch pad, we established, is going to be landscape. We want to separate our page by dividing our page in half like this. This half is going to be the sky and the mountains, and this half is going to be the water. Now this half on top is going to be the sky, and as I told you before, it's going to be a wash. When we are doing washes, a wash, remember for me, means that it is more water and less paint. Yes, you can do it. I can do all things with Christ who strengthens me. So, your water container should look like this. It's watery, all right, with blue. You take your paintbrush, right? You're using a broad tip paintbrush, Remember, pinch it like a pencil, let it rest on your other 3 fingers. Your palette could be as simple as this. You put your paint here first, then you dip it in water. Remember, more water and less paint. When we are painting the sky, you are going to paint to the left and right. A la derecha, a la de inquisara. Left and right, gently. Left and right, left and right. I already started. Left and right, and you keep on adding water to it. So you keep on adding water to it. Water. You keep adding water to it. Right? Next, you're going to start the mountains. From the image, we can see the mountains are, from the image, we can see that the mountains are kind of bluish, greenish. This image is not good, but when you get the PowerPoint, you'll get to see it better. So the first thing you do is take your green, right? And then you will paint your mountains. Another thing you can also do, when you paint your mountains, you want to establish how many mountain peaks do I have to make. So let's look. There are, let me just take out this slide. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. Okay? So you establish in your mind, there's 4 peaks you're going to make. Looking back at your painting, again you go 1, 2, 3, and 4. You take your green and you paint it over. You could use the same size paintbrush that you used to do the sky. Now, the mountains is not entirely green. It's a hazy green. Then you can take the same blue that you had before and go over it just to give it a little haze, right? You need to haze it because you want to create the background. That's in the back, all right? Now we are looking at the foreground, which is the water. So for the foreground, which is the water, let me just take off the lights again. The light there, right? If you look at the water captures a little bit of color of the sky, a little bit of the buildings. It's a little bit of light blue, a little bit of green, all right? It touches the color of what is there, all right? And notice that the water is very, very calm. To give the illusion of calmness, you use a thin paintbrush with a point. And again, your movements are a la derecha, a la izquierda, left to right in stripes, left to right. It goes straight across like that, straight across. So you give the illusion it's peaceful waters. It's not that rough. And remember, this is the Gulf of Paria, El Golfo de Paria. It's not rough at all. It's not that rough. It's more or less very gentle. Then you take a little bit of the green, and in the spaces, you put a little bit of green because you've got the reflection of the water. That's okay if you have white here, because sometimes you might have ripples or reflection of water. So basically, this is what you're going to have. You're going to finish this for me. I'm going to run out of time. When you're finished, let it dry. And this, you put it, you can line it in a box like this. So this is the first part for your model of the Trinidad and Tobago waterfront. Here's what you need to get for the next lesson. For the next lesson, we are going to look at these buildings. And I want you to find out the names of these buildings because we are going to do these buildings. Now, we need to save our earth. We need to not destroy things and throw away things. We need to recycle. So we are going to recycle and reuse these papers. Alright, these are toilet paper rolls. Also, a lot of you, I know, you all have this book, the 1 centimeter graph paper. I want us to use this. This is going to help us create the buildings. Yeah, I'm going to show you how, okay? Also, for our next class, I need your ruler and also I need your set square. I need your ruler and your set square. If you don't have that, that's okay. You can take a normal paper and fold it like this. These are our tools for our next lesson. Okay, girls. Thank you. Adios. Let me mask up. I'm going now to standard 4.